Digambara 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 Shreepad Vallabha Digambara.
I am home, said Mama. The feeling of peace in the cradle of nature, under the blanket of love, with a soft wind breaking the healing glow of the morning sun, he stood there in pure bliss. He felt at home. Above the clouds, perched seemingly on top of the world, beyond the reach of any earthly shackles, his work now almost done, he chose this place to bestow upon us his final blessings while he was in human form. When you want to see me now, come here, he said. Those were one of the last commands of His Holiness Sadguru Shri Shreepad Dattatreya Deshpande, or simply Mama. Having successfully established one of the most recent and significant places of spiritual importance in the Shree Datta lineage in India, Mama chose as his home Shree Kshetra Dattadham, a temple erected in honor of Bhagwan Shri Nrusinha Saraswati Swami Maharaj, considered to be the second incarnation of Lord Sri Dattatreya in this era of Kali Yuga. In the western state of Maharashtra in India, among the Sahyadri mountains in Satara district, about 5 kilometers or approximately 3 miles from the dam on the river Koyna, lies the tiny, nondescript village of Helwak. Just a stone's throw away from this village, off the Karad-Chipurun highway, Shree Kshetra Dattadham sits on the crown of an otherwise inconspicuous hill. At an altitude of 2,300 feet above sea level, this hill overlooks the river Kapna to the north, the river Kandati to the south, and the river Koyna to the east. In fact, the river Kapna at the foothills of Shree Dattadham eventually merges into the larger river Koyna. Shree Dattadham is a project operated by Shreepad Seva Mandal, a registered not-for-profit organization in Pune, India.
होता ब्राह्मण भार्यया सह पुरा आलातिचा उदरा मौनत्वे करितो विचित्र मगजो नाना विलासे हरा मौंजी बंधन झालिया तदुपरी काशीपुरा चालिला तो हा सद्गुरुराज श्री नरहरी औदुंबरी राहिला.
होशियार राजाधिराज महाराज अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक सद्गुरु स्वामी महाराज आहिस्ते कदम होशियार.
दिगंबरा दिगंबरा श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा.
His Holiness Sadguru Shri Shirish Dada Kaude, or simply Dada, had a desire to purchase a piece of land located away from civilization. Dada wanted to build a place for Mama to live in peace. That wish started to come to fruition when one of Dada's friends was driving past the hills where Shree Dattadham is now located. That friend heard a voice in his head that said, "This is the place. This is the place." After the friend narrated this incident to Dada, Dada requested Mama to pay a visit to the site. As soon as Mama reached the foothills of these mountains, his clairvoyance in high gear, Mama realized the importance of that specific hill in the context of the Shree Datta lineage. This site will evolve into a place of immense spiritual significance in the years ahead, he said, giving his blessings to Dada to purchase 18 plus acres of that mountainous terrain. In the year 1986, Dada and two of his friends acquired this land with the intention of building a temple and a place for Mama to stay on the premises. That vision, realized today, is nothing short of a miracle, considering the implementation challenges in virtually every aspect of the design and development of this holy site. Shree Dattadham is located in an area that is prone to earthquakes. Construction had to be limited and compliant with strict safety standards. It was Mama himself who designed the structure and trusses of the 20-square-foot main temple. He also designed what is now the smaller 16-square-foot temple that looks upon the main temple. In fact, during the design and construction process, he ensured that the main temple was clearly visible from the smaller temple, the latter originally intended to serve as his residence. Today, that smaller temple is indeed the namesake home of Mama and is referred to as his Naamsamadhi temple.
Ganga snan nirantar karitase कालत्रये साधुनी चिन्मुद्रा करितो दृढ़ासनि बसे काशी सध्यातो मुनी येति थोर यति नमुनि म्हणति आम्हासितो आगळा तो हा सद्गुरुराज श्री नरहरी औदुंबरी राहिला
होशियार राजाधिराज महाराज अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक सद्गुरु स्वामी महाराज आहिस्ते कदम होशियार
दिगंबरा दिगंबरा श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा।
The main temple is located approximately 300 feet from the base of the hill. Logistically, getting construction material and people was a huge challenge. Mules were deployed to haul supplies to the top of the hill, but were unable to scale that mountain. There was no electricity or water either. Clearing the area itself seemed impossible. Construction, then, was out of the question. But then again, this was no ordinary site in the first place. A chain of events that triggered is hard to describe in any way except the execution of a plan that was designed by anyone other than mortal beings. A group of 45 construction workers belonging to the Lamani tribe in India, known for their nomadic lifestyle and their expertise in construction, volunteered to help out with the development of the temple premises. They refused compensation and, in the spirit of service, helped build both the temple structures that are in existence today. "Give us our daily bread" is all that they asked for. One can only imagine how much more they must have received. Getting an electricity connection in an area so remote was another challenge. Navigating the bureaucracy and overcoming logistical challenges of pulling electrical wires to the top of the hill would have ordinarily taken months or even years. At Shree Dattadham, however, 10 days was all it took for there to be sufficient electrical infrastructure to begin construction of the temple.
वृद्ध कृष्ण सरस्वती अतिवरा सर्वासिमानी भला त्याते वंदुनी बोलती निज गुजे संन्यास देणे मला चातुर्थाश्रम घेऊनी गुरुचिये आज्ञे स्वये घेतला तो हा सद्गुरुराज श्री नरहरी औदुंबरी राहिला.
होशियार राजाधिराज महाराज अनंत कोटी ब्रह्मांड नायक सद्गुरु स्वामी महाराज आहिस्ते कदम होशियार.
दिगंबरा दिगंबरा श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा.
Construction of buildings requires water, and there was none to be found anywhere on the mountain. There was, however, a small, dilapidated and dry well, no more than a few hundred feet from the temple site. That well was filled with leaves and debris. It was enveloped by an Audumbar tree and a mango tree, with branches of both trees seemingly forming an arch over that well. Upon learning about this well and its surroundings, Mama asked that the debris and leaves be removed. He seemed to know that there was a natural spring of water underneath. While the natural spring was found after the cleanup, there was no water there. The team of volunteers came to Mama helpless and in despair, saying that their digging deeper in that spring yielded no sign of water. Construction was to begin the next day. Mama, in his usual calm and reassuring manner, comforted them, saying, "The Lord will provide water for the construction." It was literally the next morning that the volunteers returned to the site, seeing the well overflowing with natural spring water. Over time, this well was built up, and its water, purest as can be, sustains life and livelihood around the temple campus. Just like Mama's heart, this well shall never run dry. The arch of the two trees above and the well of water below resembled a Kamandalu, a vessel that saints and pilgrims use to carry their water. The word Teertha in Sanskrit has several meanings, including that of a holy site of pilgrimage. In Marathi, Teertha is the holy water one receives after this water has been used to perform rituals of spiritual worship of a deity. This site, then, is appropriately known as the Kamandalu Teertha.
काषायाम्बरदण्डहस्तकमली कमण्डलू मेखला भस्मोद्धूलितकेवला शशिकला रुद्राक्षमाळा गळा तीर्थाला करुणी पुनीत सकळा पृथ्वीवरी चालला तो हा सद्गुरुराज श्री नरहरी औदुंबरी राहिला.
होशियार राजाधिराज महाराज अनंत कोटी ब्रह्मांड नायक सद्गुरु स्वामी महाराज आहिस्ते कदम होशियार.
दिगंबरा दिगंबरा श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा.
As far as reasonably possible, this holy site is kept in its original natural state. Trees and vegetation are free to grow as nature intended. The entry to the site is a small landing that doubles as parking space for visitors. Today, to enter the campus, visitors use a bridge to cross the river Kapna. During the monsoon season, which lasts for the better part of 4 months, from June through October, this river Kapna swells up, making it impossible to cross over to the campus without the bridge. In the earlier days, when the bridge was not built, visitors had to wade across this body of water to enter the campus if the water levels made it possible to do so. How apt that was, for it is only right that one washes one's feet before entering a holy site. In India, it was customary to wash one's feet before entering one's home even. Just past the gate, visitors use the thoughtfully constructed 300-step stairway to the temple. Motion detection-based lighting, guardrails on either side, and places to rest along the way make it easier for devotees to take their time, climb up the hill, and visit the temple. As soon as you enter the campus, there is a small plateau to the left of the steps. This area has served as the site for many discourses conducted by Datta, as well as Her Holiness Sadguru Shakuntala Tai Akte, or simply Ai, meaning mother. In the 1990s and early 2000s, this site was also where sadhaks, devotees and visitors were served prasad, or the devotional offering of food to the Lord, later shared among everyone. Just beyond this landing is a place where sadhaks and devotees who come to the campus to render their services can stay on a short-term basis. This housing is called the Bhakta Niwas.
मेरु सव्य करुणिया मनगती जातो कसा निर्गुणी माया मोह त्यजोनि निर्मळ मने तीर्थे बहुवंदुनी सुक्षेत्री पुरगाणगा प्रतिगुरु तत्काळ जो पातला तो हा सद्गुरु राज श्री नरहरी औदुंबरी राहिला
होशियार राजाधिराज महाराज अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक सद्गुरु स्वामी महाराज आहिस्ते कदम होशियार
श्री स्वामी समर्थ जय जय स्वामी समर्था
The climb up the mountain begins at the temple of Lord Sri Hanuman. During the construction of the main temple, Datta had seen an unusually large monkey at this site. Realizing that this was no ordinary being, Datta bowed in reverence and saw a divine vision of Lord Sri Hanuman in its place. So that all who come may pay their respects to Lord Sri Hanuman, this temple was constructed at the very site where Datta had this divine vision. Since then, every Saturday morning, sadhaks perform a puja at this temple. It is believed that paying respects at the feet of Lord Sri Hanuman makes the ascent to the summit just that much easier and lighter. As you reach the top of the mountain, just a short distance to the east from the main temple entrance is an Audumbar tree. Under that tree is a small temple called the Shri Guru Paduka Mandir. This temple hosts the Paduka of Bhagwan Shri Nrusinha Saraswati Swami Maharaj. Paduka, literally footwear, is a symbolic representation of the deity or saint to whom the Paduka belong. In lieu of worshipping the saint in person, the padukas serve as the medium through which devotees can offer their prayers to that saint. Sadhaks, devotees and visitors can visit this temple and pay their respects even if the main temple area is closed.
स्थाने उत्तम शोधुनी त्रिभुवनी नाही असे पाहुनी आला सत्वर पातला कुरुपुरा एकांती राहे वनी रजके जाऊनी वंदिता प्रतिदिनी राज्ये पदी स्थापिला तो हा सद्गुरु राजश्री नरहरी औदुंबरी राहिला.
होशियार राजाधिराज महाराज अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक सद्गुरु स्वामी महाराज आहिस्ते कदम होशियार.
श्री स्वामी समर्थ जय जय स्वामी समर्था. श्री स्वामी समर्थ जय.
In the main temple area, Mama had originally designed and built a small 16 square foot structure from which the main temple is visible. He had indicated that he would be staying here and that this would be his home. Today, in that very temple, there are paduka of Shri Mama emplaced, along with beautifully curated idols of Lord Shri Panduranga and Goddess Rukmini Devi. Symbolically, hence, Mama lives in this home always. This temple, open to visitors only once a year, is called the Naamsamadhi Mandir. Prior to the conversion of this building into the Naamsamadhi Mandir, this was where Ai lived when she visited Shree Dattadham. Along with other sadhaks who accompanied her, she would stay here from October through December each year, managing and overseeing the annual Shri Datta Jayanti celebrations on campus. Just beyond the Naamsamadhi temple are the Guru Niwas and Bhakta Niwas buildings. Sadhaks who are full-time residents at Shree Dattadham stay in the Bhakta Niwas. It is worth mentioning that these sadhaks live on campus under the harshest conditions one can imagine. They endure extreme temperature fluctuations, punishing weather conditions and elements of nature while performing their duties and living in virtual isolation. These sadhaks start their day at 4 o'clock in the morning, performing their puja and rituals, taking care of their daily chores, keeping the temple grounds clean, and maintaining the campus surroundings. In addition, they also tend to flower, fruit, herb, and vegetable gardens around the campus, the products of which are used for various services, including the puja and the devotional offering of food to the Lord, called the Naivedya. To perform these services or seva consistently, year after year, is admirable to say the least. It is indeed impossible to live and perform seva under such conditions without the grace and protection of the Lord. That said, the commitment and sacrifice of these sadhaks serve as examples for all of us. In their imperfections as human beings, they inspire us to demand more out of our own selves.
होती ब्राह्मणी 60 वर्ष तिजसी कन्या कुमारे दिला वांझे महिषी सदुभविले फुलविला काष्ठे किडे खादिला अंत्यजामुखी वेद हा पढविला त्रिविक्रमा भेटला तो हा सद्गुरु राजश्री नरहरी Audumbar Rahila.
होशियार राजाधिराज महाराज अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक सद्गुरु स्वामी महाराज आहिस्ते कदम होशियार
श्री स्वामी समर्थ जय जय स्वामी समर्था श्री स्वामी समर्थ.
To the south of the temple, just next to a small stream, is a rather large stone, naturally shaped like a rocking chair. On one of Mama's first trips to the site, he had visited this area and rested on the stone. He lay there in peace, closed his eyes, and seemed to go into a meditative trance, almost impervious to his surroundings. This stone, in his memory, is called the Vishranti Sheela, or place of rest. I would fondly recollect how Mama would rest here very much like he would at home. For sadhaks and devotees, the place where Mama himself rested holds a special place in their hearts. Further up the mountain, towards the south from the temple, is a huge tree of Audumbar. Generally speaking, the Audumbar tree, or Ficus glomerata, is a tree of natural as well as spiritual significance. These trees usually do not survive if planted manually and are 24-hour oxygen generators. Their edible fruit is said to have many medicinal uses according to the Atharva Ved, the fourth part of the compilation of Vedic scriptures. These texts themselves are considered to be one of the oldest layers of Sanskrit literature in India. This specific Audumbar tree, however, bears even more spiritual significance. It is believed that Sadguru Shree Gorakshanath Maharaj of the Nath lineage performed his penance under this very tree. Interestingly, another Audumbar tree has grown naturally directly behind the main temple and continues to shelter the temple to this day.
त्रैमूर्ति अवतार हायतिवरा वेशे धरी मानवा त्यासी जे नरलोक मूढ म्हणती होई अमा बांधवा म्हणे कुंभजवंशितो गुरुपदी कृष्णा तटी पाहिला तो हा सद्गुरुराज श्री नरहरी औदुंबरी राहिला तो हा सद्गुरुराज श्री नरहरी औदुंबरी राहिला तो हा सद्गुरुराज श्री नरहरी औदुंबरी राहिला.
होशियार राजाधिराज महाराज अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक सद्गुरु स्वामी महाराज आहिस्ते कदम होशियार.
श्री स्वामी समर्थ जय जय स्वामी समर्था श्री स्वामी समर्थ.
The main temple on the campus is built on the foundation of a large rock. It is believed that Guru Parshuram, considered to be an incarnation of Lord Shri Krishna himself, initiated Shri Gorakshanath Maharaj with the Shri Vidya mantra, one of the most powerful mantra according to the Vedic and Tantric religious systems. Guru Parshuram is part of the Bhagwat lineage in India. When Mama first came to the base of this mountain, he narrated the story of this divine nexus, where the Bhagwat and Nath lineages came together at the prospective site of the temple. After the emplacement of the idol and paduka of Bhagwan Shri Nrusinha Saraswati Swami Maharaj of the Shree Datta lineage, this very spot now bears witness to all three lineages coming together as one. Facing the entrance of the main temple is a small temple of Lord Shree Ganesh, considered the deity of knowledge and a remover of obstacles. Most rituals, prayer and penance begin with a prayer to Lord Shree Ganesh.
Shanta ho Shri Guru Datta Mama Chitta Shrama Viyata. Shanta ho Shri Guru Datta Mama Chitta Shrama Viyata. Shanta ho.
होशियार राजाधिराज महाराज अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक सद्गुरु स्वामी महाराज आहिस्ते कदम होशियार
ज्ञानोबा माऊली तुकाराम. ज्ञानोबा माऊली तुकाराम.
In the main temple, the primary deity is Bhagavan Shri Nrusinha Saraswati Swami Maharaj. The Pratisthapana, or the spiritual emplacement of his idol and paduka, was performed by Mama on the 8th of March 1990, or the 12th day of the waxing moon, or Shuddha Dvadashi of the lunar month of Falgun, according to the Hindu calendar. This idol, weighing more than 150 kilograms or 330 pounds, is made from Panchadhatu, or an alloy of 5 metals. Interestingly, for one reason or another, the previous owner of this idol was unable to emplace it in a temple that he had in mind. After several attempts to do so failed, he had a divine vision in which he was instructed to give this idol to Mama. And thus, the idol eventually made its way to its home at Shree Dattadham. It was Mama himself who helped lower the idol into the temple when it was brought up the mountain. And Ai, who was in charge of the kitchen duties, had prepared the Naivedya on that holy day.
Shri Guru Datta Jaya Bhagavanta Te Mana Nishthur Na Kariyata. Shri Guru Datta.
होशियार राजाधिराज महाराज अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक सद्गुरु स्वामी महाराज आहिस्ते कदम होशियार.
ज्ञानोबा माऊली तुकाराम. ज्ञानोबा माऊली.
To the right of the main deity, Paduka of Bhagavan Shri Akkalkot Swami Maharaj and His Holiness Sadguru Shri Mama Maharaj are emplaced. The Paduka of Shri Akkalkot Swami Maharaj are made from the wood of the very tree under which he used to sit in meditation. The Paduka of Bhagwan Shri Jnaneshwar Maharaj, considered to be an incarnation of Lord Shri Krishna himself, are also emplaced here. To the left of the main deity, a Shivalinga is emplaced. This Shivalinga is said to have been given to Mama directly by Lord Shiva through a 20th century saint by the name of Shri Sairam Baba. This Shivalinga, meaning a votary object symbolizing Lord Shiva, is worshipped and revered as a medium and emblem of generative power. First emplaced in 1982 in the Mauli Ashram in Pune, India, where Mama lived, and later moved to its new home at Shree Dattadham in 1996, this Shivalinga is considered to be a potent source of spiritual power. Given the august presence of the Sri Sadguru lineage here, the Gurudwadashi celebrations, typically in the month of October or November, just prior to the Diwali festival, are hosted at Shree Dattadham.
जय करुणा घन निज जन जीवन अनसूयानंदन पाहि जनार्दन जय करुणा घन.
होशियार राजाधिराज महाराज अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक सद्गुरु स्वामी महाराज आहिस्ते कदम होशियार.
Every year, Shree Dattadham comes alive with the celebrations of Shree Datta Jayanti, the day of incarnation of Lord Sri Dattatreya on earth. This event takes place on the full moon day of the lunar month of Margashirsha, which typically falls in the Gregorian calendar month of December. The time of the incarnation usually falls around 6 o'clock in the evening. Hundreds, if not thousands of sadhaks, devotees and visitors come to the temple to pay their respects. In anticipation of the moment, sadhaks recite the Shree Datta Bhavanjali Stotra, a composition of 77 verses by Mama, encapsulating the essence of the holy scripture of Shri Guru Charitra. Sadhaks also sing hymns called Abhanga and chant the holy mantra of Digambara Digambara Shreepad Seva At the stroke of the hour and minute of the precise time of the incarnation, musical instruments and chants fill the air, heralding the arrival of the Lord.
प्रसन्न होसी जरी तू वर देसी तरी मी आनंद मागे तुझसी निर्धारू निवारसी निर्धारू निवारसी दत्ता मजला प्रसन्न होसी जरी तू वर देसी.
होशियार राजाधिराज महाराज अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक सद्गुरु स्वामी महाराज आहिस्ते कदम होशियार.
Then it is time for the palki or palanquin. The symbolic representations of Lord Sri Dattatreya and the Paduka of Sri Akkalkot Swami Maharaj are carefully placed in a palki and taken on a procession around the temple. This procession is a form of worship of the Lord, during which sadhaks offer service in the form of chants, abhanga, and beautiful dance steps called pauli, set to the beat of traditional instruments such as tar and pakhwaz. The palki tradition belongs to the Varkari lineage in Maharashtra, India. This lineage, started by Bhagwan Shri Jnaneshwar Maharaj in the 13th century, to which Mama also belonged, completes the nexus of the Shree Datta, Nath, Bhagwat and Varkari lineages that have made their home at Shree Dattadham. The palki starts on the east side of the temple and goes around the main temple 3 times, stopping at the north, south, east and west sides of the temple. At each stop, devotees sing abhanga, chant mantra and praise the Lord. Impromptu dance steps are dynamically choreographed and performed by these devotees. They don't dance to be happy. They dance because they are happy. And what blissful happiness that is. With the winter chill setting in the late evening, on that full moon night, under the starlit sky, singing praises of the Lord, dancing to His tune, obfuscates any sense of material existence. That feeling of unfleeting, soul-satisfying bliss is worth the annual wait and longing to be here on this auspicious occasion. With the mashal or torch showing the way, with the flags flanking the procession, and the bearers carrying the palki on their shoulders with a sense of service and deep reverence, the procession seems to stop time. What takes place over 2 or 3 hours seems like a few minutes. Before you know it, the procession is over, and the wait for the event next year begins. The pradakshina, or the rite of circumambulation, performed by the devotees as part of the palki procession around the main temple, is especially significant. In this form of worship of the Lord, with each step it is believed that one accumulates punya, or spiritual virtue, that just this act of service is equivalent to visiting all other places of spiritual importance. All that is good and blessed is found here. Devotees praise the Lord through song and dance and bathe in His divinity to the exclusion of all else. It is believed that all manner of sins are wiped out as devotees fall at the feet of the Lord, and that spiritual salvation awaits them at the end of such service. The scriptures expound knowledge, but do the scholars experience the joy of singing the praises of the Lord? That bliss is found only in this domain of seva. At the end of the pradakshina, it is believed that devotees offer their entire being at the feet of their Lord. In doing so, their spirit becomes one with the essence of Lord Panduranga, who stands before them eager to accept their love, their devotion, and their seva. Palki and pradakshina are hence extremely powerful ways to worship the Lord. And He knows that those who perform this service pour their hearts and souls in the preparation as well as the performance of the seva on that auspicious evening. One need not, however, be present at the temple to render seva. Just look inside yourself, Mama said, and you will find your Lord, your happiness, and your home. Maintaining a campus this remote and removed from civilization is possible only through the efforts of volunteers who visit the site on weekends throughout the year. They come even more frequently during the days and weeks before the Shree Datta Jayanti celebrations. Getting down on all fours, these dedicated devotees scrape every single one of the 300 steps, as well as the railings. They clean the entire temple grounds, even painting the premises to remove any sign of mold left from the preceding monsoon season. While the celebrations take place during a single day, and more specifically during one evening, these volunteers work days and weeks before and after the event to ensure that every comfort is afforded to each visitor. They work hard to make the campus look perfect. not as if it were a site owned by an organization, but as if it were their own home. At the end of the Shree Datta Jayanti celebrations, as it is done every night, devotees sing an abhanga, offering their last act of service to the Lord on that day, and close the curtains of the main sanctum, telling themselves that no one shall disturb the Lord until the next morning. In many ways, the Lord has tolerated us today and every day, like a caring and protective father, like a loving and doting mother. The Lord has forgiven our trespasses. The place where this feeling touches one's heart is where one's home is located. I know that feeling of unflinching love under that blanket of security, at that pinnacle of peace. I feel that in my heart now. My head on my mother's lap, her hand on my forehead, eyes closed. My world is inside. With Mama, with Ai. All is well. I am home.
सांगावे कवणा ठाया जावे कवणा ते स्मरावे कैसे काय करावे कवण्या परिनिरहावे कवण येऊनी कुरुंदवाणी स्वामी ते मिळवावे सांगावे. बोली लीले कुरे वेडी वाकुडी उत्तरे
बोली लीले कुरे वेडी वाकुडी उत्तरे
करा क्षमा अपराध महाराज तुम्ही सिद्ध
करा क्षमा अपराध महाराज तुम्ही सिद्ध
नाही विचारिला अधिकार म्या आपुला
नाही विचारिला अधिकार म्या आपुला
तुका म्हणे ज्ञानेश्वरा राखा पाया किंकरा
तुका म्हणे ज्ञानेश्वरा राखा पाया किंकरा
करा क्षमा अपराध महाराज तुम्ही सिद्ध
करा क्षमा अपराध महाराज तुम्ही सिद्ध
करा क्षमा अपराध करा क्षमा
अपराध करा क्षमा
महाराज तुम्ही सिद्ध करा क्षमा
महाराज तुम्ही सिद्ध करा क्षमा
करा क्षमा अपराध महाराज तुम्ही सिद्ध
करा क्षमा अपराध महाराज तुम्ही सिद्ध
करा क्षमा अपराध महाराज तुम्ही सिद्ध
करा क्षमा अपराध महाराज तुम्ही सिद्ध.
ज्या ज्या ठिकाणी मन जाय माझे त्या त्या ठिकाणी निज रूप तुझे मी ठेवितो मस्तक ज्या ठिकाणी तेथे तुझे सद्गुरु पाय दोन्ही अवधूत चिंतन श्री गुरुदेव दत्त.